Are you getting ready to start your job as a project manager and you want to start it off on the right foot? Well, I'm going to share with you some critical things that you probably did not think about. And if you want to slay your project, stay tuned to the end of this video where I'm going to give you a link where you can get a checklist on how to ensure your projects don't fail, something that is critical in your role. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. For the best career and project management advice, subscribe to this channel, hit that bell button, and a new video is going to come to you every Wednesday. When you're starting out as a project manager, it is really important that you start it off in the right way. I'm going to give you 6 critical steps for you so that you can do it and be successful. Be an intentional project manager. Okay, so what do I mean by this? When you get into the role of project management, it's exciting, you're probably slightly nervous, but you don't want to just do for the sake of doing. You really want to think about everything that you're doing. There has to be intention in everything. And like the adage goes, sometimes it's best to be slow first in order for you to speed up. And that is what's really critical in project management. So become an intentional project manager. Everything you do has intent and purpose. Just don't do things for the sake of doing them. Study the players. All right, you want to get to know who you're dealing with, and I mean everyone that you're dealing with, all the way from the top, so your project sponsors, your steering committee, all the way to the bottom. And what I mean by that is your project team members, the people you're going to be hanging around with all the time. You really want to get to know who they are, what they're about. This is where team dynamics comes in, and it's really critical that you take a look at it. Who's the political player? Who's the person who really doesn't want to be there but is forced to be there? Who's the keener? Who's really quiet? By understanding the players, it allows for you to put a strategic plan together on how to address them individually, because ultimately you want to get everybody on board, because if everybody's on the same page, it's going to ensure that your project is successful. Get to know your project. All right, this is where the why becomes really important. Why are you doing this project? Were you told when you were given the project the business case behind it and all the really good information? If you were lucky, you were. But probably you were not, because usually when it comes to that, that means you would have gotten your scope statement as well. It's really critical as a project manager, particularly when that's your role and your job and you're trying to get everybody on the same page. Understand the why, do your research, figure out what is the business case behind this. By you understanding all the background nitty-gritty information, it's going to allow for you when things pop up to give people direction. Here's why we have to do it. It may not make sense to you, but if you understand the bigger picture, there's very good, clear reasoning and direction for why we're doing it this way. So get to know the why. Set a vision for the project. Huh? You're probably going, what does visioning have to do with my project? I have a scope statement. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. This becomes really interesting because you want to inspire your team. Here's the thing. People don't report to you, but they report into the project. So how do you motivate them? And if you set a vision for your project, it really is a great way to get your team together and to go that extra mile. So what is a vision for a project? Well, it's your scope statement because that's your deliverable. And then you add some expectations to it and then maybe some desires with that as well. And you do this collectively as a team. It's kind of like your beacon in the night. It's your guiding light. That it's just going to say, here's why we're doing what we're doing. Of course we're doing it because of the scope statement and the deliverables, but there's this extra stuff too that is motivating us as well. And a really good example of this is I had one project with a client where they had a platform given to them globally and every single affiliate country had to implement it. So they were slightly competitive, which I thought was great. It made it a lot of fun. They're like, we want Canada to be the best country who's implementing this, to be a role model, and so much so that they started adopting our ways of working. And so that's what our vision was about for our project. And so it really helped us to ensure why we were doing the things we were doing. We spent a lot of time on change management. We spent a lot of time ensuring that our messaging was good. Why? Because we wanted to be the role model and we knew they were going to look at us and we're just going to hand over all this stuff so they can start implementing in other countries. Why? Because Canada rocks. Anyway, awesome things to do, and you really get people together and connected. Get organized. Okay, you're saying that's a given. Yeah, I know it's a given, but I'm letting you know because it's critical. Getting organized in the beginning is something that's going to set you up for success. So I'm telling you this now because sometimes people don't put the energy and effort into the beginning. They kind of stretch it out throughout the project life cycle. Do a lot of your heavy lifting now. Get your milestones, your timelines, everything prepped before you do anything with your team. Just really get organized so that you can understand very quickly when things change, because they always do on projects, that you can, on a dime, turn and go to the next direction. So get organized, get prepared, and really do all the heavy lifting now in the beginning of your project. Identify important people. You want to get critical people who are going to be in your circle of trust. So what I mean by that is, as a project manager, you need to know who you can go to, who can mentor you, provide you with guidance, anyone who can listen to you without judgment. Because you don't want to be spewing anything to your team members, because you're their leader. You're supposed to guide them and you're supposed to know what's happening. So you really need to ensure that you pick the right people in your circle of trust who you can then get some feedback from. Now, who is in that circle of trust? Well, you want to have a few people within the organization. This is not a big circle, it's a very small circle within the organization who can give you insights to the politics and things of that nature. Even ideally, someone above you. Again, they can mentor you. But you also want to consider having someone outside of your organization, because they're going to give you another perspective too. Again, really get to know the important people, and those are the people who are in your circle of trust. All right, now that you know some things that you probably didn't think about when you start your new job as a project manager, I want you to go from the link below and grab this. What to do, or your checklist on what to do to ensure that your projects do not fail. This is going to be so important, so please go down below and grab it from the link. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with all the professionals that you know. I would love to hear from you. Please, in your comments below, let me know how it is when you started off as a project manager.